Welcome to another broadcast of Habits and Money. Today, I have a very dynamic personality in studio, and she has the dream of helping the average person to see the world. She's a travel expert, and today she will be sharing with us some of what she has in mind, her vision to really ensure that the average person, regardless of where you are in the world, how you can position yourself to see the world. Her name is Andrea, and she's all the way from Italy. So do join me in welcoming in Andrea to the studio. Hi, Andrea. How are you?
Hi, how are I'm fine. I'm terrific. How about you?
I am phenomenal. I am phenomenal. And I must say, it's a pleasure to be here with you to learn about your vision. But just before we get into your vision, you are young, but you're well accomplished. You have a
Yes.
master's degree in communication. Can you talk to us a little bit? What inspired you to pursue studies in the field of communication?
So since I was young, I was always a talker. My mom and my dad always say I talk a lot with everybody, everything. And when I started studying, I saw the fact that I talk so much is just because I'm curious. I want to know. I want to know more about people. So I've asked a lot of questions. I'm just. It's just how I am. So working in the communications field, it seems that's just like the perfect fit for me because I just wanted to learn all the psychology that was there. I wanted to learn how to communicate better, and I just fell in love with communication. I just pursue my master's. After that, there's another. I did another master in customer experience, but that's something that it's also really connected with my communication side because I wanted to understand how a brand or how I can communicate better, can arrive better to his own customers. So I just uh, I didn't have to choose. Communication chose me. I don't know.
Okay. Awesome. So you are an expert in communication, you're an expert in customer relation. And I do believe both of these skill sets are so vital for business and for life. What I've also seen is that you leverage your knowledge in communication, you leverage your knowledge in customer relation to start your business. You have registered a business about a year or so ago, and that business is titled Map Wonders. Can you tell us a little bit about Map Wonders?
Yes, I should have started earlier, and that's a tip that I give, an advice I give to everyone that just wanted to start something. You have because when you start doing it, you just realize that it was what was you were meant to be, what you were meant to do. So I started my poems more or less a year ago because all of my friends were always asking, "How do you travel so much? You have a 9 to 5. How we call you, you're always around doing things, seeing the world. How's that possible?" The tipping point was when I went to the Maldives without points and miles, and I just spent a ridiculous amount of money, but really ridiculous, like less than $1,000 for more or less $1,000 for per person for an entire week with my husband, with everything included. And that was a tipping point. And people were saying, "Okay, you have to write a guide so we can do the same thing because we want to do exactly what you did. You just have to teach us." And that's how I started my ponder. So I decided so not only help my friends, but help everybody out there to travel more. Because for me, travel is not only about going to different places and do nice things or different things or meet new people and meet new cultures. It's all about if I travel with my husband, it's all about connecting with him. It's we have our busy lives. We don't have that much time to be together. It's normal. It's everyday life. You know how it is. So traveling is also a moment that we can just enjoy ourselves, relax, talk to each other. And if I'm traveling with friends, it's a really nice way to engage with them because also life happens. So maybe that once a year travel with your best friends is that moment that just something that you are really looking forward. So I want to give this experience to everyone because everyone should be able to do that. Um, Even if you have a 9 to 5, if you are entrepreneur. You have my medicine for your stress is travel. For me, it's
Travel.
travel. Yes, yes, yes.
I love that. I love that. I really love how you put it. You know, your medicine for stress is to travel and see the world. And I do believe that it is a stress release because I could recall when I started doing some traveling and I started interfacing with different culture. That was an aha moment. It was like an awakening, to see what life is like on the other side of the world, what culture is like on the other side of the world, and, how to coexist and build relationships. And I really see that perhaps you were called to do communication because I can see you are the embodiment of communication. You're traveling, going to meet people you have never met before, and you're building that relationship with them while you're building your business at the same time. What I love about what you said though is that you were traveling a lot. Your friends were a bit curious as to how you were able to do it. An idea was birthed, and you decided to start Map Wonders and to share your knowledge, your passion with the world. That's so brilliant. I noticed that you would have also mentioned, yes, the business would have started 1 year ago. I recognize that you were so passionate about what you're doing. And I want to say you perhaps had the right strategy because I recognize that from the very first month of starting your business, you had income coming into the business. Can you tell us what that experience was like?
It was like aha moment. I don't know how to say that. I decided to participate in. There was another group of persons that was organizing a travel summit. That's something that with a lot of speakers, people talking, but I didn't. In that moment, my business was just really starting up, and I didn't know if I was just the right fit. But my husband said, "Just send your application, then just send it." And they picked me, and that was my aha moment, and just like that made me just believe in this business. And then from there, things started to happen. So people started asking, how can I don't know? One of my first clients, they went to or a family here in Italy, a family of four, and they wanted to go to Amsterdam with a camper. So I just organized all the from 5-6 days, so all the things to do for them, for the children, and they had a blast. So I realized I think it's like you have to put everything you have out there. Just don't be, that's what I did. Because I think information is out there. I study communication. No, information is out there. It's all out there. I like to share what I know because I think if it can make someone's life better or easier. For me, it's like, and so that's what I do. I just share what I know, and people just keep coming.
Well, I must say that I'm truly impressed and inspired. You're young, you're a woman, but you are a go-getter. You have a vision of what you want to accomplish in life, and you are making moves to achieve it. Andrea, you have started your business a little over a year now, and you have realized a lot of success. But I know that you have big dreams still. I mean, your growth is still at the early stage. I know one of your dreams is to be the go-to person when it comes to travel, when it comes to traveling at a budget. Can you tell us a little bit about your dreams for the future?
Yes. So I'm really passionate about this business. And as I was saying, I think everyone should be able to travel. And I think that the main problem of traveling is not like it's not the as I'm seeing with my clients, it's not the budget, it's not the time, it's how you plan it. And here's what my calling is that I help you plan it in the best way possible so you can have the best experience that you can. So I want to be that go person because I want people to are starting to recognize me as an expert on my field. And the other thing that I think people really resonate is that I'm not someone that's talking about traveling, but that it's not traveling. I'm traveling all the time. I'm traveling all the time. And people say, okay, how does she do? She just have a 9 to 5, have a business, keep traveling. How's that? I plan a lot. And that because that's important for me. That's what I prioritize. So I'm just want to be that person. People say, okay, she has a normal life, but she's able to afford travel, and she's able not only money wise, but also time wise. How can I do that? And I'm the answer. I just want to say, yes, you can do it, and let me help you.
I must say that I'm not going to ask you to share your secret sauce now, but I do believe that you have a lot of clever move because you're right. A lot of people, because they're on that, work cycle, that 8 to 4 work cycle, then from work they may have kids and spouse to take care of. The whole idea of traveling, yes, it may come to mind, but to be able to plan for it the way you were talking about it, and to be able to have a budget to go on that travel, I see that many families may not necessarily be able to explore that. But I'm really excited, as time progressed, to have you talk about your secret sauce, to really help people to plan. What I want you, I'm going to ask you to perhaps do some giveaways as now with your secret sauce. But just before we come there, help us to understand the travel agency and some more. Is your travel agency merely focused on helping persons to travel around Italy, or is it built out to help persons to travel and see the world? Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, it's built up to help people around the world because I've traveled a lot around the world. So I was saying first that it's a blessing that I just travel a lot, so I can give my expertise all around the world. And being the talker that I am, as you know, I've
Yep,
built
yep.
really good, yeah, I've built really good relationships in the local places like I don't know, Sri Lanka, and I'm able to help my clients also in the ground. So I think that's the main advantages of having me, because I've been there. I know exactly what you should do, what you shouldn't do, where you should go. I have people that can, in this case, maybe a driver to go with you. Not always, but usually I have someone that can help you. So I want to give a personalized experience to everyone. A family that's going to Amsterdam in a camper, it's one thing. A couple that's going to New York for 5 days, it's another completely different thing. I started doing this because I saw that I think it was lacking a little bit of when you say people think about planning and they feel stressed because it's a lot. It's exactly how I can help. I say, okay, you want to go to Amsterdam for 5 days with your kids. What's your budget? Okay, let's just make everything you can to go into this budget. Sometimes people don't know more or less what's their budget, so I help them understand that if they want to do that travel, they can do 10 days, but they can do 5 days. And you say, okay, 5 days is no, every single trip counts. Weekend trips, staycations, longer trip, international trips, domestic trips. Every single trip counts because it's the outcome that you share. Just imagine to pass a weekend with your whole family. I don't know, in some place even that's near your house. Maybe you drive just a couple of hours, but you spend that nice weekend. You create that amazing memories with your kids. Like you can put a price on that.
Yeah, I agree. I know there are many parents. They work hard and to take care of the family, and they put so much of emphasis on working, earning, and taking care of the family that sometimes they tend to forget that, hey, spending time with the family is important, because here is where you get to build a relationship with your loved ones. You get to connect more with your loved ones. You get to share knowledge. You get to share experience. And sometimes just detaching from home, from that that comfort zone, getting out into someplace new, forget about work and everything like that. I mean, I've heard, I don't know if in your experience you would have had this experience, but by couples and family taking vacation, it has helped to strengthen their relationship. Have you get any of those feedback from your personal
Yes,
life?
yes. And I'm going to dive also in my personal experience. The reason why I love to travel so much, and that I know that can be they create like unforgettable memories, is because my parents traveled a lot, and I have my best memories with them because we were traveling, we were in a family, we were doing things together. And that's I don't know, that's priceless. And the same feedback I have with my clients, because two things. First, they know that someone planned everything for them and planned like the things that they like to do, because what your family likes to do can be what another family likes to do. Someone prefers, this family wants to go to Amsterdam in a camper. Someone said, okay, let me just go by train, or I prefer to catch a plane. So everyone has their different ways of traveling. But once you find your way, once you find someone that helps you plan it, it's really easy,
It
because
makes
you
it
just,
easier.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. You just
What
can
what
absolutely enjoy what you do.
Yeah. What are some of the countries you have gone to, you have traveled to?
Oh, or some or all of them. I don't think we have time, but some okay. Let me say. So I'm talking about Sri Lanka. I live in Italy, so I've lived also in Rome. Now I live in Milan. I've lived in Rome. So Italy, more or less, I've seen. I think maybe there's one region of Italy I've just never been, but most of them I just saw them. I've been in New York. I've been in Cuba. I've been in Guadalupe. I've been in Mozambique, where my mom is from. I've been in Lisbon, in Portugal. I've been in Spain.
My God.
See?
Talk about travel. What are some of the best countries you have traveled to from your experience? And
So I left my heart. I'm just really candid about this. I just left my heart in Costa Rica. It's all about the people, the laid back way of life they have, the amazing, stunning nature that they have, and I don't know. I just left my heart in Costa Rica. I love Cape Verde also, but I think if you have to this question, I just Costa Rica. It's first is yes, it's the one place I would actually relocate to. That's that says a lot.
okay. Well, I have to start planning my trip to Costa Rica.
Yes, yes, yes. Please, yes, yes, yes.
We'll talk more about that. All right. You have a list of success, behind you. You're a successful academic. You travel the world. You have so much of experience because you travel the world. So perhaps you understand the world better than most people. That's definitely a plus. What I want to talk to you a little bit about habits. I want to talk to you a little bit about being an influence. I want to talk to you a little bit about success. So the first question I want to put to you is, what habits do you think is necessary that influence success? Habits that influence success.
First one, and most people will not like this one, exercise.
Exercise.
Exercise is, for me, one is something that I just I was not like this. I like 5 years ago I started being more serious about exercising. I hired a personal trainer and I exercise 2 to 3 times per week with him, and then the other days I just try to be really active. But for me, exercise helped me be really disciplined, because you have to be disciplined, because you have to do it even when you don't want to. Even when you don't want to, you are going to exercise. And some days you're just not in the groove with your body and you do it. And at the end of that thing, you just understand, okay, it was hard today, and some days are harder, some days are easier, but I did it. So, and this is like discipline, the commitment with yourself for doing something that is good for you. So exercise is something I put like one of my first habits. My second habit is journaling. You don't have to journal every day. You don't have to journal every week. For me, it's like I try to journal once a week. Some weeks more, some weeks less, but I just try to journal at least once a week, because that helps to clear your mind, put on paper everything that you're thinking, and gives you perspective of how things are going. And another thing that just really helps about, I think you like about journaling, it helps you slow down, appreciate the moment, appreciate what's happening, being grateful. So it's something that I think that's another really nice habit. The third habit is get used to hear no. You're going to hear a lot of no's before you have a yes. So just grow that thing. Grow. It's not about you. It's not that thing is not for you yet. It's coming, but get used to hear the word no. So it will really, really liberate you from a lot of things.
Wow, you're young, but you're so wise. I think
Thank
you're wise.
you.
You're wise beyond your years. Many persons. Let us just walk back from through some of the habits you've talked about. Many young person today, when you hear no once or twice, you tend to fold. You tend to shut down. But here you're saying that one of the habits that you need for success is to get accustomed hearing no and use no as a springboard to push yourself forward. Really love that, And what are those factors that shape you as a person? Because what I've recognized is that you are not thinking like the average young person. Perhaps as your travel with your mom and dad, your exposure with your mom and dad. But what are those factors that really shape you?
So first thing, I think, yes, my mom and dad, I have to thank them because they always told me two things, to study, to study, and to be open-minded. Okay, so I'm a nerd in the sense because I'm curious not only about my job, or I was curious about what I was studying. I'm curious. I'm really curious. So I read a lot of stuff. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I try a lot of things. So I'm constantly, because I know that I don't know. When I start something, I think, okay, I don't know nothing. I'm going to learn it. So that's I'm like a blank page. So and that keeps me going, and that's I think that's the thing that helped me being where I am now, is being that curious, that wanting to know so much of life. And it's not easy because, as I was saying, sometimes these things go as you wish it are going, sometimes not. You have some setbacks, but you just get up and say, okay, happens, life happens. Let's see what's in the other side of this setback. But I
Yeah.
have to thank my parents. I really have to thank them.
Wow, I love that. Now, let's talk a little bit about journaling, which is one of your habits for success. So, journaling is the process of writing things down. After you write things down, what is your next step? Do you take the time to reflect on what you're writing down? What is that state of mind as you reflect on the things that you're writing down? Because of course you can write down things that you have accomplished. You can write down things that you are grateful for in the present. You can perhaps also write down things that represents the future. What does journaling represent for you?
So I usually find like an hour, just like an hour on my calendar that I know I'm going to journal. And the first thing I do, I really like to do that. I read the precedent pages, because that's how you understand your progress, because you just don't know. When you read that, this is, oh, yeah, I was thinking about doing this thing. So now oh, wow, now I've done that. Wow. So I just take a moment. The first moment is to see how the past Andrea was thinking, or was, and that helps me be in the mood to write how present Andrea is feeling. So I usually reflect a little bit on how I'm feeling. It's really important to put in paper what I'm feeling. What happened, your future projects, your past, your actual projects, things that are going well, things are not going well. And after that, I just read everything I just wrote, to reflect on what I wrote. That's why I said it's so important as an habit, because it is that moment when you just slow everything down. You put everything outside of work and relationship, you put everything, and you have that moment to yourself to truly understand what do you really want. That's my first question when I start journaling. Are you doing what you really want? Are you doing
Love,
what your soul desires? Are you doing something that can help be in a better world? So it's really important, because you have to be aligned with yourself to give the best of yourself to others. Otherwise, it's just really difficult. And I've been there. I know how difficult it can be.
love it, love it, love it. One of your hobbies also is that you see as being essential for success, and I do agree with that. You mentioned exercise. The average person may not see the importance of exercise, but I do exercise adds to good health, it adds to longevity, it adds to mental clarity. Can you tell us what exercise does for you and how it sets you up for success?
Mental clarity, the last one you say is perfect. After I exercise, I just have usually my phone or my notebook near, because it's in that moment at every all the ideas that maybe I just read something or saw something, and I have to write it down, because it's like my brain when I exercise just it's working in some way. And some people is when they are in the shower. It happens also to me. For me, it's after I exercise. It's like that mental clarity. And then I truly believe that when you feel good with your body. I must say, the first reason I started exercising is because I really like to travel and I'm an adventurous type. So I said, okay, if I want to climb that volcano, I just might as well be fit. So I just help it. That was my first. I might as well be fit now. So if I want to swim with dolphins, I just might as well be fit to do that. But then just it came all of these great things that I didn't expect about exercising. And that's why I think it's important, that mental clarity, because I think we usually we are doing so much stuff that we don't just think, stop to reflect on what we're doing. And exercise helps to do. I have to do that because it helps. Just simply helps. I don't know, something in your brain. It happens in your brain. And I really love also the effect of exercise afterwards. I feel so calm, so serene, so with less stress. It's really like, okay, now we can we can do everything else. So I think
Yeah.
that's really important. And I don't think people understand. You don't have to have a personal trainer. Okay, you don't have to go all in the gym. Just go for a 1 hour walk. If you like to ride the bike, just go with the bike for 1 hour. Just do something that makes you feel better. And so climb that volcano that I know you want to climb when you're on vacation.
Awesome. I love all of that. So we learn a little bit about some of your habits for success. You exercise, you journal, and you work on mindset. You know, you've trained the mind to deal with rejection and disappointment. How would you define success?
Oh, that's a really good one. I think not everybody has a definition of success. I think everyone should have their own definition of success. My definition of success is doing exactly this, just doing something that I generally like and know that I can make a little bit of a difference in the life of someone else. That's my definition of success right now. Maybe in a couple of years will change. Maybe it was different a couple of years ago when my definition of success was getting my second master's degree, for instance. So your definition of success should and would and will change, but you have to find your definition of success. Um, I think, yeah.
All right. All right. I'll take that. Um,
Do you exercise?
Yeah, I exercise a lot. My form of exercise, however, is Shotokan, which
Oh,
is martial arts. So every several times a week, I would go through several katas. I was only talking about that this week. I will start with kata one, which is Heian Shodan, and Heian Shodan I think has about 21 moves. To me, the exercise, the practice of Shotokan, it helps you in several different ways. It helps you in body. It helps you in mind. It helps in so many different ways. So I certainly identify with the importance of exercise. It's very,
yeah,
very important.
yeah, yeah. I think it's people are sleeping on this one.
Yeah.
People are actually sleeping on this one.
It helps with longevity. I only last week I was talking with another colleague, and she's an expert with food and nutrition and exercise and body movement. And she was talking a lot to the body needs to be in movement and how it helps the body in more ways than one. So I love that exercise works for you. To me, exercise also along with the mental clarity, it gives you energy and
Yes,
to go through that day. So there's so much of
absolutely.
plus to exercise. So the next question I want to ask you is, you are successful in so many ways. You're young, you're successful academically, you're young, you're in business, and you are traveling the world. I think by now you probably would have gone to over 50 countries.
Yeah.
That's a major, that's a major, it's a major milestone to have accomplished. Kudos to you. What would you say is your blueprint for success? I know planning is going to be a major part of that whole process, but what do you have a blueprint, or do you just, make things happen?
So, in life, I'm a planner, that's how I am. But even when I travel, I really like to leave room to things to happen. I'm a strong believer in that everything you put out there in the universe, it's coming back to you some way, somehow. So I try to be the best that I can every single day. It's not easy. Everybody has it bad days, and sometimes you just don't want to do stuff. But I think that I just try to be a little bit better every day. That's something I just wake up and say, okay, one thing, not 10, one, just one thing you have to accomplish today, just one. And from there, it's like the accumulation of small things. You just see it starts. That's why I like to journal. So I say, okay, it's just small. Start that thing the other day, and then just like snowball effect, and then that thing just happened. And you just, I was
I
not
love
a really
that.
patient. Yeah, being young, we are not really patient usually.
Yeah.
But I really learned to be patient, and I think it's one of the greatest things that life actually taught me to be patient. And I'm seeing the benefits and the fruits of being patient now.
Awesome. But you said something that I really, really love. You say do one thing. And I think that that definitely is something to build on. You're right. Many young people, they have a lot of great ideas that they're, going around their heads. And it's not that they're not bad ideas, they're good ideas. They're very good ideas. But what I've learned in life is that to make one concept become real, it requires three things: human resources, technical resources, and capital resources. And very often at the start of that great idea, you don't have all the human resources, you don't have all the capital resources, you don't have all the technical resources. So when you do multiple things at the same time, one tend to cancel out the other. But when you do one thing at a time and you allow that one to grow and develop, it gives you more time and it gives you an opportunity to scale your vision faster. And as you scale that vision and cash flow that vision, you now have more money that you can hire more people. You can bring in more technology to help you to move that process forward. It helps to fast track your success. So I really love that.
Exactly. Now, for instance, I'm going to make an example for my business. Um, I work in communication, and I had something that and I've worked with some newsletter platform, and that's something. But I didn't never. That's something I wanted to implement in my business, and I had to learn how to do that better because maybe I use the system, and then I always want to use another one, and I have something in place, and I have other ideas going on. So I just don't wake up one day and say, okay, today I'm going to do everything. I'm going to set up the newsletter and do everything. I'll say, okay, let's just do a roadmap, a plan. So every day you're doing one thing until you send your newsletter. And that's how it's going. And that's how I'm consistent with things also. Because I'm not overwhelmed about doing everything
At
together
the
because
same
it's yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And you know that as time progresses, you're going to have a big team with you, so you can now delegate
I hope, yeah,
responsibility
yes,
to,
yes.
out to your
I'm a
team.
really believer in delegation. I really believe in delegation because I think when you're starting, you build a business, and in the first, like now, you wear many hats. But I think to grow, you have to have time to think how can you grow your business, and that time it becomes really, really the most important thing that you have to continue to grow your business. So you have to bring other people on board to help you so you can have that time to be the visionary of your business.
Love that. Great share. I what experience has shown, what the data is showing, that to become successful, you often have to go through challenges. So the question I want to put to you is, what challenges you had to overcome
Oh, that's
to
really
be
good.
where you are today?
That's really good. So, a lot of them, a lot of them. In life, first, because, I graduated in Rome, so I was really happy about having this new job and stuff like that. I got laid off a couple of times, so it's not easy, like in the working world. And that, for people that works, they know that's like a really, that's rejection. Remember, it puts
Mhm.
you just think you are not worth it. You think you don't know how to work, even if in those situations, it wasn't my fault. It was like the company that's not going good and something like that. So it wasn't my fault, but you just feel you are not worth it, and that really helped me build, um, wo- um, the rejection part, the no part.
Mhm. Mhm.
Other challenges that I also faced is like fear, guys, fear. You are afraid of starting your own business because you are afraid of what people will think, your friends, your family, your colleagues. In my case, for instance, I have a 9 to 5, so overcoming my fear was not easy. Just saying, okay, I'm just going to put myself out there and see how it goes. I also overcome I've lost my father like 5 years ago, and that was really difficult to overcome for me because, as I was saying, my parents played a huge role in my life, in how I grew up. And I had a terrific relationship with my father. I have a terrific relationship with my mother right now. And losing him was really difficult for me because it puts me like, you say, okay, so someday this could all end. Like how? And I was just faced with grief about my father's death, and with the fact that life can is so short. So that's the thing that, all of these things just, that's why I say I think they arrive. All of this just brought me to that moment that I said, okay, I'm just going to do that
Okay.
because I will not care about my fear. I will not care about how people think. I'm going to do something else.
Wow. I must say that I empathize with you and the loss of your parent, your father. It's always, a void and losing someone that is so close to you. But I still want to compliment you because you've gotten up, you have dust the dust off, and you're pressing on and towards achieving your destiny. I want to talk a little bit about your fear. Would you say that fear, what were you first of all fearful of? I mean, some people are fearful of failing. Some people are fearful of expanded growth and not being able to control it. What was your fear like? And what would you say? Did fear hold you back or did it push you forward?
I was a perfectionist. Still a little bit I am now, but I was a perfectionist. I always have great grades in school, great grades in university. So I'm just always was a professor. I'm a little bit now, just work really hard on that. And my fear was just to don't have like the perfect thing to put out there. Wait until the perfect thing is ready. Wait until the perfect post. That was my biggest thing to overcome. And I had to overcome that. And that was also thanks to, I have a little brother. He is like 20 years old. And, being at 20 years old, he's at 20 years old. So boy, young boy.
Yeah,
So,
boys will be boys.
and yeah, we have a really good relationship because I love my brother, and and I was talking about him. I say, okay, but I want to do this thing, but I'm not sure. I have to do the perfect post and the perfect website. It's not work, and he just say, everything you do is perfect. And then I said, oh, that's the perfectionist in me saying, that's a really huge red flag, right there. Okay, I just have to start that. I just have to, yeah. Yeah, that was that defined moment that you say, like, just I just look myself in the mirror in that exact moment, like, just everything, just because I'm the perfect being the perfectionist that I was now less. I everybody always know that I was like just waiting for the perfect thing, and I overcome that. I don't care anymore if it's perfect. I just have to get it done.
Love it. Talking about fear, talking about your hooked on being a perfectionist, but would you say that that was the one thing that was holding you back? The question I want to put to you, do you have any regrets when you look back at what fear did to you or what being a perfectionist did to you? Did it hold you back? Do you have regret
Yes,
for that?
definitely, definitely, because it was just when I start, just saying to myself, just do it, like one step at a time, just do it. You know how to do it, just do it. My only regret was why I didn't start this business first
Earlier?
earlier. Why do I just why? Because when you're putting things out there, you are also learning how to do stuff that you don't know how to do. I have a degree in communication. I know how social media works, but I always work for other brands. It's different if you have to put your face out there and your content out there and sharing your stuff out there. Like, it's really different. So it's been a learning curve, but I'm curious. I'm just enthusiastic about learning it, all these new things, new stuff. But being a perfectionist, this fear of not having the perfect thing, or it was really daunting. Um, I I don't fear failure. As I was saying, something I don't feel failure. That's something I think I don't fear. But because I think I have that no muscle really. So I can handle that. I could handle myself just being the perfectionist that I am, that I was. So overcoming that was like the thing that was missing, that it actually
Yeah,
was missing. And what
yeah.
I say to every perfectionist out there, trust me, that little thing that you think that without that little thing, that thing will not be perfect, nobody cares. Nobody cares but you, okay?
Yeah,
Nobody
you're
cares.
right. You're so right. Sometimes you just need to get it done, and just get it done. And what I've learned is that the by simply stepping out and doing that thing that you're fearful of doing because you're fearful of judgment and you're fearful of getting it right, and the only way to perfect your art is by doing it.
Yes,
So the very
that are all excuses that we make to ourselves to not do that thing, because as you said before, judgment and fear of failing or other thing. I think my fear connected with the perfectionist side of me was judgment. That's really common now. What my family would think, what my friends would think, what people would think. So once you just overcome that, and you overcome that by doing that thing that you fear.
by doing that. Yeah. Andrea, you travel the world, but then you don't travel the world alone. You travel the world with your husband. And I
Yes,
know
yes,
doing that in of itself really helped you, I know in more ways than one, and strengthen your bond with him.
yes.
Is there other things that you would have learned from your travel with your partner? And the real question I want to ask you is how much of what you have experienced traveling with your husband, and how much of those experiences really help you to want to be an influencer in your industry and inspire others to travel the world just like how you did? What are those factors that really inspire you to want to be an influencer, inspiring people around the world to want to have this passion for going out and seeing the world, experiencing the world, connecting with people, building new relationships, and so on? What really inspire you?
So one thing that when we start dating, we always talk to each other is like how communication
Yeah,
was really important for any relationship. But life gets in the way. Inevitably, life gets in the way. That's how it is. Like, it's normal stuff. And what I've learned in these years traveling with my husband is that when we travel together, we get to experience things together, and we have time just maybe lay on the beach or lay on top of the mountain and talk to each other and take all that, everything that we have around us, all in, and just be grateful to be together in that moment. When life gets in the way, because life will get in the way, you are more kind for the people you have beside you, because you know that person better. Another thing that I said at we are together from now almost like 11, oh wow, 11 years almost, okay. More than 10 years. And people change. That's something I
Yeah.
think people don't get. Even if you are in a relationship, the people that you have beside is changing, because it's absolutely normal. And these moments together help me get to know him better in every stage of his life. And I think this is the same thing for him. So because as you say, our dreams change, things that we like, the things that we want to do, etc., everything changes. And craving some time to get to know better what that other person is becoming, I think it's really, really key to have a good relationship with your husband or your boyfriend or your companion. So
I
that's one.
really love,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I really love how you respond to the question, because life do get in the way. All right, it do get in the way, and what happens when life get in the way is that it is noise. It is noise that can prevent you from truly understanding your partner, and your partner understanding you. Yes, when you go to that quiet place or quiet places, it's really help you to unwind, relax, open up, and really let your partner in. And I think that what you're doing is really phenomenal. The next question I want to ask you, how do you want to be? What impact do you want to have on your clients that you want to expose to the world through travel? And how do you want to be remembered? And do you want to be known as the person who is impacting people's lives because you're giving them an opportunity to get to know each other better, to really experience the essence of each other, because yes, life may have a lot of demand on you, but you need to pause and recognize that you are your number one priority, and sometimes taking time with you and your loved ones to just find self and be self and embrace each other. It could be so, so, so important. Is this one of the things, or this is some of the ways how you want to impact people's lives and how you want to be remembered? Can you talk to us about that?
Hmm. There's one thing that I think can sum up everything. When you travel, you usually have your guard down, because it's like this. Everything is beautiful. The food is amazing. The surroundings are stunning. And if you can take that same sensation that you have with the relationship with the people that you are traveling, it's like, I just wanted to be remembered for that, for the person that enabled you, your family, your friends, to have that guard down and to create and to craft that beautiful and amazing memories, because that's the essence of what we are, of being humans. And I was saying about my father, the experience of grief taught me that when someone is not there anymore, the memories, they are your most precious thing, not the thing they left you. Okay, it's nice, but the memories they gave it to you. So I want to be the person that created, crafted, help you create those memories, because that's what's life about. So I think because as we say, when you travel, you have your guard down and you enjoy your family, you enjoy your surroundings, you get to know other cultures, you open your mind. I think everyone will be a better human being because you are more understanding, you're more respectful. Like, it's just all that good things about traveling. If you do more of that, probably you will be able to incorporate more of that in your life, and it'll be better.
Yeah, I think that that can put a whole lot of spice in the relationship, man. In the U.S., I see how a lot of family live. And I see a couple. One person goes out to work, and when that person's coming back in from work, the next spouse is going out to work. So they hardly have that time for getting together and really thinking through things and talking through things and developing that big plan for life. They're just living life and sometimes without the navigation. And I do believe that what you're doing can really help them to have better perspective on life, because they have that 5 days or 14 days is that they can really sit and do the introspection, help each other to see what each other are, are thinking, and, really make their best effort to make life better. So I've never seen travel from this standpoint, but I'm happy to be talking to you, a personal travel planner who can bring all of these perspectives into what traveling and seeing the world can be. But help me to understand just a little bit more about your travel agency, which is Map Wonders. Do you, in your execution of planning, helping persons to plan for their travel, do you just do all the logistics from your office, or are you on that trip with them? Are you helping them with tour guides? Are you helping them? What is that process like for you?
So for now, I'm doing all the logistics from them from my office. I usually I plan everything. So from the flights to the activities, I plan you'll have like a sort of day by day things to do. And one thing I really like to do that people are not used to, and they say, "Oh, Andrea, you just left us a whole afternoon without nothing to do." I said, "Yes, because you are on vacation. You need a lot to do without nothing to do. Stroll around." Sit in the park, watch people watch, go on the cafe, sit down and just have a drink. You need that. Trust me, you
Yeah.
need that because you don't want to be around all vacation doing stuff. And then you come home and say, okay, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
You have to embrace what you're doing. So just embrace it. Just do whatever you want to do.
Love
My
that.
next steps for my next agency, that's something that I'm just resonating, thinking about. I'm brainstorming also with my husband, will be just booking everything also from them for them, because right now I don't book, because I give you all the options that you have, or maybe Sri Lanka case, I give you my driver. So okay, you can trust him. It was my driver when I was in Sri Lanka. He's amazing, and I'm absolutely sure that you will have the best person you can. But my next step is to start. I'm thinking about starting to book things. It will be a little more complex because it has another step of complexity and another whole of work for me, but that's how you go. So the first thing that we usually do, the first thing that I do is like we chat, we have a call, 45, 1 hour call, when I just go deep. What do you like to do? What your activities are in mind? How many days you have? Do you are a more cultural person, or do you like nature? So because I want to actually craft that experience for you, then I give you a rough itinerary of all the things to do, where to go, museums and treks and guides and everything else. We go back and forth. Okay, this yes, this, and then you just do everything. That's a little. That's the. I think that's the best of both worlds, because that's why I'm really thinking about if it's a good idea to go that extra mile, because what I give to my clients is the peace of mind of the planning and the thrill of the, okay, imagine a couple. Okay, just sit down here to meet it. Andrea chose this place to sleep. Do you like it? Yes. Okay, we're going to do this thing. So it's like that anticipation that's really, really good before your vacation, and that's part of the experience. The anticipation,
Yeah.
it's all part of the experience.
Love it.
Mm.
I have a colleague out of UK. She's in the UK, and part of what she does, she does something similar to what you do, similar but different. Part of what she has incorporated into her tours, and she's actually on the tours with her community. Part of what she does, she introduced financial intelligence training as part of her tour travel, and so she's really helping them to understand how to position themselves to build wealth. If you have wealth, is how to put your excess liquidity into work so you can continue to build wealth. And those are things that I would love to talk with you about offline, and because I do believe it can significantly help in strengthening your brand in terms of what you're doing. But we have a lot to talk about. We are about to wrap up now, and I have just about two more questions to put to you, or three to be exact. I want to know, what is your big vision for Map Wonders, and what is your big vision for the operation? Do you plan to have, locations, not only in Italy because you're operating in Italy
From
right
Italy,
now,
yes.
but do you plan to have operation in the US, in the UK, in Canada, in other parts of the world? Can you help us to understand that big vision that you have?
Yes, yes. I my big plan is to have a location in Africa because I would really love to open one in Mozambique because I think African tourism is like, except for that some countries are really well known, there's a lot of things. There are a lot of things that still like hidden gems, like really hidden gems, and I would love to do that. And I will also love to open one in South Asia, just for the same reason. I think Asia is beautiful and has a lot of hidden gems that people are, I think, overlooking. Because another thing that I really like to do, that's my vision for my agency. I live in a very touristic country. Italy is really touristic, and I see the good and the bad of over tourism. So what I really like to do and incorporate also in my work with my clients is just try to make them understand that you can go to the risky destination, but you can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of other things. And talking about money, it's important to know where are you putting your money in. So I try to do my best, and that's something that my parents told me. I really like to put my money in the local economy where I am. That's something like number one thing that I actually that's something I do when I travel, and I invite my clients to do, and I try to do that, to incorporate that when I'm planning the vacations for them. So that's two things. So open other locations in Africa, in Asia, and have an agency that people knows that we are not going to propose the same things that where everybody else is going. You can have the same beautiful experience. I'm just going to give a gem here. I'm going to make an example.
Yeah,
Greece. Everybody's going to Greece. Okay, Santorini, you name another island, really famous island. I don't know, Santorini and Naxos, all the same islands. A couple of years ago, me and my husband, I discovered this island that's like most Greek people go there to on vacations from Athens usually. Like for the first 5 or 6 days, we were maybe like the only 3 or 4 tourists in the whole island. And it was like August, so the worst months to travel in Europe because there's people everywhere. And it's just like, how come people just don't know why people are always in the same island and just doing the
yeah.
same things with everybody else when you're just like, you have this all for yourself. So that's that.
Got that. Okay. All right. I love your vision, and you want to leave your footprint and with your brand globally. And I think that is, what I admire about you. You're young, but you're a visionary, and you're taking action to make things happen. For you and your brand. We know that to make great things happen in terms of business, capital is important. How important is access to capital for you to attain your future plans, or do you have capital to invest to move your vision forward?
A little bit of you have to. I think if you want to start a business, one of the first things you should have a little bit of savings, like because you have to invest first, so have some results. Even if you just have to invest in, I don't know, newsletter software, just putting out there, or in Canva to create your Instagram posts. Like you have to invest. The other thing that I do is that I actually use my 9 to 5 to finance my business. That's
Got that.
my yeah. That's like once you have all the things like all these expenses and house and cars and everything out of the way, you just invest in your business. And the other thing that I think that I've been doing, I'm just reinvesting everything that I earn. I'm just putting in business until I see that that's grown enough just to pay also myself. So that's my three takes on that.
Love that. One of the reasons I asked the question because when you get to the U.S. With your operation, and that's something that we can help you with. We can help you from A to Z. Once you get to the U.S., what we can do also, and that's Global Capital Inc., we can get you access to capital, all right? Whether it's debt, equity, credit, creative financing, or hard money lending, we can get you access to capital to really grow and scale your business. We will talk further, perhaps, of strategic financial instruments that you may be able to use in Italy, but we'll talk about some of those things
Yeah,
offline.
later, yeah.
Yeah. But I really must say that I enjoy talking with you. I love the fact that you're young. You hear me saying this a lot. You're young, but you're a visionary. And I'm truly impressed by that. The last question that I want to ask you is, what are essential money habits to have? In your view, what are essential money habits to have?
Budgeting. I know people will not love that, but like
No, no,
I
no.
know,
You're right.
I know you have to know where your money is going. You have to know. You just have to know because if you don't have control of your money, you actually don't have control of your life. So budget and budget is different for everybody. Some people prefer just, I don't know, there was something like on TikTok, like cash stuffing in your envelopes. If you so think, do that. I have an Excel with all my expenses because
Mhm,
that's how
mhm.
I work. But I think it's important to know where your money is going. Every little cent of money is going. And the other thing that I think it really helps, that all of those newsletters of all of those things you buy, unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. Coming from a communication and marketing background, I know I'm just not working against my own work, but unsubscribe because that's like that's the way we do it to make you spend more money. So
Okay.
yeah,
I hear you.
all the promotions and sales and special discounts and
Yeah, great. I love the fact that you talk about budgeting because I do believe whether you're wealthy or you are not wealthy, I do believe knowing where your income is coming from, knowing where you're spending, it helps you. We talk about a concept that we call, being able to measure your income against your expenditure against your balance sheet, because very often the way people spend, because they're not budgeting, you have more spend, so you have a negative balance at the end of the day, and that's not something that you want at all. So thanks for sharing on today's program, Andrea. I must say it has been such a pleasure being with you today.
oh, for me
And
so too. Thank
I
you.
want to, you're welcome. I will put some of your links in the description of this video.
Thank you.
And I want to encourage the audience to start thinking about traveling. All right. And as you start to think about traveling, I want you to think about, your personal travel planner. You have Andrea, and that can help you through that entire process. And she can also help you to achieve your travel experience at budget. All right. Below the average cost. Andrea is definitely a good person to work with. So I encourage you to reach out to her as you start thinking about your travel need. Remember, this is not travel only to Italy or in Italy, it's travel anywhere in the world. All right. So thanks again, Andrea. And
Thank you, Gary, for having me. Thank you.
yes, we will do the